Hey guys.
The audio is recording.
Pascal, come at you.
Nothing is on.
Hey guys.
Welcome, Parkies, to episode. You should know this. I said this earlier today.
40.
Yes, episode 40
Bang.
of Parkade Pals.
12 left.
12 left, Parkies.
That's 12 weeks, Parky.
I'm so fucking excited.
We're in the
for it to end.
last limb.
I'm
I remember
so-
when we hit half and we were like,
Well, no, we said this is going to take so much fucking longer. And
Yeah.
guess what? It took so much fucking longer.
yeah, guess what? It feels like it takes longer actually the closer you get to the end. Like each day is a bit longer.
I'm so excited, Parkies. It's going to be such a fun episode to film, I feel. The last episode. We've
Yeah.
had some ideas. We've been sharing them.
We're cooking. We won't spoil, but we're
We will
cooking.
not spoil. Well, one thing is going to happen. And if you've been following, you know what's going to happen.
Chuddling on your screen. Sorry.
I'm going to crush a watermelon betwixt my thighs. And I'm still training, Parkies. I should,
Parkies, I'm not sure if we can do it, so
No,
We'll see.
no. Well, you can help me. If I can't do
Oh,
it, then
really?
you get in there.
I
you,
get-
you get on. No, you
God.
get on the other side of the watermelons. You get your
Ooh.
thighs out. Our power
Ooh.
combined.
I'll do it in jeans, I don't mind.
You will when it breaks.
No,
And then you have soaking wet watermelon
I don't
covered
care.
jeans.
I don't care.
Did
Hallmark-
he shit his? No, that's
Hallmark of
not
a
shit.
real man.
It's pink, but blood isn't pink. What the fuck is
My
on his
period.
ass?
My period.
Anyways, welcome, Parkies, to episode 40.
Or my
This is going to be a
period.
fun episode. You may notice we're in a new spot. It kind of looks like a spot that we've been in before, but it isn't. We, Parkies, are in my favorite
Because
building.
there's like a billion-kilometer winds outside, and we cannot record outside.
We're-
The camera will go flying, we will go flying, the audio will be terrible.
Well, the audio might be good if we go flying. That'd be cool. It'd be cool. Anyways, this is my favorite building in UFC. We're in the Eel. This is the science building.
This is your
Dedicated.
favorite building in
So far.
UFC?
So far, yeah. I think it's the most fun, and I am biased because I'm in chemistry, so I get to access
fun.
I get to access the things in the Eel.
Dude,
Other people don't.
TFDL exists.
TFDL's boring as hell, though.
Fuck you, bitch.
Everybody's just fucking dying. Everybody's dying, and that's it. And there's chuds that chase you around if you're playing Magic in their fucking room.
True. You guys won't see this, I guess, until the week after it happens. But,
No, you'll see it this Saturday.
well, this episode.
This episode,
Magic,
yeah.
Magic the Movie's up.
It's already
Yeah.
up.
So you guys have seen that.
The fucking chud.
The Chud.
Yeah.
Never found out who he was.
Also, you
Absolute
may not
nobody.
have seen the chud because that was an hour and 20 minutes in.
You didn't see the Chud, but
you
he
heard
was
it.
there.
Yeah.
If you were watching, you heard the Chud.
If I may recommend to Parkies, if
Don't
you're
know
watching
who
this,
that is.
that video is very good. I think.
If
you
I
should
do
watch it.
recommend, harass him. Find where he lives.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
If
He's
you
old and he's white.
even have a preliminary understanding of Magic the Gathering, I think it's a fun watch. We make some fun comments and we play
Yeah.
Magic. I've been getting really into Magic, Parkies. We're into Small Talk. We're at Small Talk gang. I've been getting really into fucking Magic, Parkies.
I don't know what that clicking noise is, Parky. It's something to do with this bitch. It's
Yeah.
clicking on something.
Whatever.
Maybe. Nope, still clicking.
It's more flavor.
So
for the
you
Parkies.
guys might get like clicking noises. There's no radiation in the building. It's just that.
But yeah, I've been getting really into Magic. It's kind of the biggest thing I've been thinking out in the past since we filmed that Magic episode, which is pathetic. I bought a deck, Parkies. I bought a deck for $100.
Are you ashamed?
No, actually, I'm actually pretty happy. The deck is pretty good for $100,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty nice. I like the deck a lot, and it's a dragon deck. It's Dragon Tribal,
Yeah, I love it.
dragons, and
Tribal is the most boring archetype.
So we played a couple of games of Magic before this. Now that I beat Parkade Pal 0 in Magic twice,
So-
all he's gonna do is fucking stomp on me.
Okay,
It's
I've
like-
never liked tribal really, unless it's like really niche bullshit tribal.
Yeah.
Like Dragon Tribal's too supported. You need to do like ooze tribal. I feel like
Ooze?
like you
That'd
need
be sick,
there-
actually.
Like you need if you want your tribal to be cool, make it like frog tribal or like weird shit that just like doesn't get supported often.
Well, I like dragons. You guys know I have a dragon tattoo. I like dragons, and so it makes sense that I want to play a dragon tribal deck, and so I'm playing a dragon tribal deck. Tribal deck. It's fun. I like it a lot. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in the deck. It's a fun for the whole family who isn't the people I'm playing with deck.
Guys, I didn't expect this, but in the 1v1, believe it or not, the 7/7 with trample and double strike obliterated me. Because yeah, there's not much.
Yeah.
I play aristocrats, Parkies.
Aristocats.
I play like Orzhov.
Those
Like I don't really
who-
play like Big Stompy much. Yeah, I mean, I was over from the start, and I knew going into it.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be fun. I had a chance a few times there, but
Yeah, I think this is probably. It won't be the only one, but bracket. This is the bracket 2. Fairgrounds, but also 1v1s in Commander just kind of suck. It's kind of hard to do because the deck is built around multiple people, and when there isn't multiple people, the cards that you have that are meant to affect multiple people just affect one fucking guy.
I was thinking of doing like a standard thing.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm gonna proxy like the like a deck professionally, and like MPC, which is like the big proxy thing. I'm already gonna be proxying over 100 cards because I'm proxying like the decks and the tokens that go for the deck.
That's right.
You can then, like, for basically like the more or less the same price, proxy like a standard deck alongside it.
MPC does it, or NCP, whatever.
MPC.
Yeah, they do it in bulk. So I think they do it in groups of 100 cards.
There's 100 cards, 108 cards, 198 cards, and then there's like 216, and there's like more from there.
So they do it in like bulk. So you're not really gonna.
They do it in like specific numbers.
You can't get like one card printed from them. Although maybe you could get like a sample or something. I don't know. If you're like a big company, I'm gonna order 10,000 cards. But yeah, Magic's been super fun.
Yeah. So I was thinking of maybe proxying a standard deck alongside that.
Yeah, the issue with like standard is the deck that I have currently. It's kind of hard to convert into standard because standard's built off of being able to repeat cards a little bit, like being able to have like 5 of the same card. It really helps. But Commander, you can only have 1 of each card, so it's hard to transfer the decks. Also, just entirely different dynamics as well. There's different rules. You don't have a commander, which is the big part of commander.
20 HP.
20 HP, bunch of different things. So
Standard's fun though.
yeah, I mean, I bet it's the normal way to play Magic the Gathering. So I don't know. Either way,
multiplayer way.
other than Magic the Gathering, I also have some big news, Parkies. Classes are semi-done. I still have one more assignment, Parkies, and I kind of alluded to this in the previous episode while I was being interrupted. But I'm basically done. There's one more assignment that I need to do, and then I'm free. But, as I shared in a previous episode, I have the research opportunity. I finally finalized it. It is 100% confirmed that I will be doing a research opportunity at the University of Calgary. It actually won't be in this building, the EEL. It'll be in Science A, I think is where the lab is, or Science B, whichever one. And I'm going to be doing fucking research. There's one other undergrad that's going to be in the lab with me at the time. And then I have like supervisors and stuff. But I think it's going to be super fun. I'm super excited. You guys will get many updates. Other than that, though, I've been kind of chilling. I've been playing games. I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping a lot. Been staying up way too late. I swear to God, while I was waiting for that deck to come in, that was all I was thinking about, man. I was like, I just got to get through work, and then I can go grab the Magic deck. Fucking bullshit.
I so get it.
It's so exciting, though. I'm very happy that I have the deck.
Late epic yawn.
How's your week been, Parkade Pal 0?
Pretty alright. I've been like kind of checking out. I'm not gonna lie. Haven't done much.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know.
I've been meaning to work on D&D.
I've been working a bit on D&D. I have been watching Arcane Season 2. Oh my god, I love Jinx. Oh my god, I love Jinx so much. Oh, I'd do anything.
Parkade Pal 7 so do we have to refer to him as Parkade Pal 7 for eternity on this podcast?
Who the fuck is Parkade Pal 7?
We don't even have friends apparently anymore.
Oh, the one in the last episode?
Yes, do we have to refer to him by that forever now?
I think we called him by his real name many times.
We definitely have, but now that he's been on the show, do we call him Parkade Pal 7 forever? How does this work?
Well, the only names that are off limits are ours.
Yes, I know, but...
That's the bit.
Okay, well, maybe we'll accidentally say his name, but you guys won't know. It could be...
Parkade Pal 7.
He didn't get to talk about Invincible.
Rhymes with ham.
Okay, well that gives it directly away.
Rhymes with spam.
Yeah, so...
Rhymes with
I feel like
sham.
even if they haven't watched the previous episodes, they know his name now.
Rhymes with...
It's just going to be a series of bleeps. Rhymes with pizza. Our names were said so many fucking times in the
missed one.
Parkies. No, I didn't. I went back.
Oh,
I
okay, we
fixed
didn't
it.
miss one.
And it actually, the edits went through before midnight, so it was all good. Everything.
Epic.
Really nice. So no names were said. And I replaced each one with a funny sound effect, except for the one I missed. That one's just a flat out fucking cut.
That one's evil. You don't get to know that one part.
This is a fun project, Parkies. Before we get into the topic, of which I do have one, unless you have more small talk to talk about.
Not really. I've just been doing deck stuff and D&D stuff, and oh my god, Arcane, oh my god, Jinx, I love Jinx. And that's about it.
I've been excited for this podcast. We're going to do some great things. We're going to have some more guests on. We haven't really discussed who, but I'm sure we can find people who we can force onto this podcast and belittle on camera.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they could sit in this seat.
And then we can berate them for an hour, and then they can leave.
Actually, this would be a fucked up seat to put them. We're both staring at them, talking the entire time.
No, but we should sit like there. We should sit like way further up
Focus
on the
on them.
table.
That's how
there
we make
are
people
3
uncomfortable.
more seats between us and you, Parkies. We should sit right where the camera is.
Have you thought about how crazy of a year this has been?
No.
Since we started the podcast, we've done like a lot in this year. From the beginning of Parkade Pals to what is going to be the end, we've changed like a lot as people, and it's really interesting to see that work.
You're gay now.
I've always been gay, actually. Wait,
What?
I guess did I start?
Did I start being gay?
No, yeah. Before the podcast, I was dressing femininely before then because it was the Cave Town concert when I started doing that around you guys. Although I was doing that not around you guys earlier. Woo! Parkade Pals. Well, maybe have the trans episode eventually. Who knows?
No.
Yeah.
No, maybe.
But yeah, we've made a lot of friends.
We've already had the trans episode, to be honest.
Not really. We
Not
haven't
a
really.
little.
No,
We had like the trans adjacent episode.
We've had adjacent episodes, but I do want to have an episode where we talk like about trans topics because it is something that is important to me, and it is something
Hey
that
guys, I'm here.
yeah.
I'm just a guy.
I'm just a guy. No, like philosophy around being trans. I'm reading a couple of philosophers right now.
Are they trans?
I don't know
Argument
actually.
invalidated because
Okay.
they're not trans.
Anyways,
Sorry.
today's not that episode. So if you're here for trans content,
Leave.
Leave. Do we call this episode the trans episode?
No,
and then
it's
people click it and then they all leave.
We've never lied on an episode before. They've always been accurate.
The China episode.
More or less accurate.
Okay. Anyways, was that the episode where we were like Hitler, 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 and then we were trying to get him in the fucking people mentioned?
Yeah, I think it
This podcast is dog shit. Who's fucking watching this, dude? Anyways,
Me, myself, and I, dude.
the topic for today.
Maybe we just should
Parkies,
delete it when it's done.
The topic for
We
today,
should just-
as I alluded to in the previous episode, is more God topics. For context, Parkies, I've been listening to more of the podcast, the philosophy podcast, that was recommended by our friend Izzy. I've just been listening to it. It's a good podcast. They cover like individual topics. It's very theistic philosophy, so very like religious philosophy. And so the topic we're talking about today is related to that. It's Pascal's wager. So I'm going to start off with a thing. Pascal, he made a triangle.
Pascal.
He was a triangle guy. He was a big mathematician. He was a big physician. The unit of the SI unit of pressure is named after him. It's the Pascal. 101.325 pascals is atmospheric pressure at sea level. Whoa, that's crazy. Anyways, so Pascal was also a avid philosopher and an avid theist, as most people during medieval times were. They were very God-pilled. They were very taken the God-pilled. And so I forget what like urged it on or whatever. I think it was like writing a book with some other chud. But he wrote some notes that basically outline the idea of Pascal's wager. Pascal's wager is the idea that since most religions, I can't think of a religion that doesn't, but most religions offer for belief or faith or like some other things infinite happiness when you die. It's basically the answer of what happens after you die. That's one of the unknown things that religion answers. It answers that when you die, you either go to hell, a place where nothing exists, or you go to heaven. And it's usually some variation on the three of those, right?
Yeah.
Don't think I'm missing anything.
More or less.
Pascal's wager is the idea that it's basically an argument to convince you to believe in God. Not because it's proving that God exists. There are a ton of arguments that try its hardest to prove that God exists. Our friend Parkade Pal 7 I talked about those actually a decent amount with me when he was taking a course related to the topic.
Their real name rhymes with jam.
It does, yeah, it sure does.
Continue.
You should. Never mind.
What?
No, it's okay. So there's a lot of arguments to prove that. This is not one of them. This argument is that if belief in a God, which is like the Christian at the very least belief, if belief in God guarantees you a spot in heaven, gives you eternal happiness, union with God, all of these things, then it is in your best interest to believe in God. It's like a cost-benefit analysis thing. If you have a choice between an infinite amount of things, or I guess in this case it would be 4 things: believing in God, not believing in God, and then some other stuff. If those are your choices, and one of them guarantees you infinite happiness, why not pick the one with infinite happiness? In fact, you should pick the one with infinite happiness because the payout is infinitely great. Why not? So why aren't all people religious?
Chuds.
Because they're chuds. Because they're fucking chuddy no-foids.
I think the answer's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to choose infinite happiness. I think that's a pretty easy answer to that.
Well, okay, but there are multiple different things. So one of the ideas of infinite happiness is immortality, and then you're in heaven, you just kind of do shit like that. But another thing, the Christian belief, is you are in heaven and you gain union with God, which is not like the thing that you imagine with heaven of just kind of like being in there and then you're happy all the time or anything. Union with God, to Christians, is the ultimate happiness. That is the ultimate good. We talked about universal goods before and that concept. This is a thing that is not only universally good, but it is good at all times, no matter what. Who you are, what you do, no matter what. Union with God will be a positive thing for you for the entirety of time. So it's not even about like living forever or anything like that. It is just you have this thing infinitely. So why don't you believe in God if this is a potential payout? There are a couple of common objections to this, and I'll bring them up, but I'm curious if you can bring up any of them.
I mean, there's the obvious one of like, first you're jumping through the hoop assuming that God already exists, which is one thing.
Not technically, but we'll get to that, yeah.
You're more or less assuming that some sort of deity that can guarantee this already exists. And 2, there's other religions that do not necessarily abide by this like idea, because if you're Buddhist, it does not matter.
Just belief doesn't get you there.
It does not matter if you like if Buddhism is to be taken as like reality. It does not matter whether or not you believe in Buddhism or not. What matters is like your karma, right?
Your
like
actions.
Your good deeds versus your bad deeds.
Yeah.
And if you have more good deeds, you go through the heavens, which, by the way, still sucks. Buddhist heaven is not fucking good at all. It is awful, actually. It is about as bad as Buddhist hell.
Okay, well that sucks. I don't actually know what the...
Well, because one of them is like, you go to like the best place ever, and you're there for like... You're not there for an eternity, but you're there for like what would feel like an eternity. So long that it's almost eternity.
Okay,
right?
Guess.
But it's
arbitrarily long, yeah.
And then, eventually, you will go to the next part of heaven. And then eventually...
Heaven too!
But when you leave that one that's so great, you are just left with an emptiness that lasts until you reincarnate into a normal person.
Which is how long?
Good question.
Oh.
It sucks. Buddhist heaven is fucking bad, dude. You don't want to go to Buddhist heaven.
To be fair, we don't know how long really long is, but presumably it's really long.
And then Buddhist hell isn't better. You just like die forever. Like there's a lot that goes on in Buddhist hell.
Buddhism honestly is so based. I love Buddhism.
And like the only way out is to like break the cycle of samsara, because the heavens and the hells are in the cycle.
Yeah.
So you need to get out of it. That's
nirvana. Yeah, and nirvana's good.
Nirvana is good.
That's infinite.
That's where the Buddha ascends to.
Yeah.
It's like because he used to be a monk and then he ascended, right?
Yeah, and for the record, that is still infinitely good. It's just infinitely good in a different way. And you still have what that culture assumes to be like the infinite good.
So there's that. You don't have to necessarily... This is assuming that there's no other God besides the Christian God.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, yeah, you're right. And I think a fun objection to this is the idea of... Like, if you're a person who is undecided and you're looking between every single religion, could you feasibly come up with a God that is like, I don't know, kind of silly or something. He's like, I'm going to make anyone who drinks wine go to heaven. Because I really like people who drink wine. That God could also exist. No one worships this God, but why can't that God exist? And if his reward is infinitely great, why don't you just drink wine all day, right? Because that would also follow the premises, right? Mm-hmm. The premises of the argument are still satisfied, and the conclusion is still the same. You just replace out the God, right? And this God, in theory, could exist, but it may not. And so this sort of gets like to like a formal way to describe the argument here. If you've done anything on game theory at all, or watched Matt Pat's game theory on game theory,
I love game theory.
Then you probably understand the concept of like those boxes that have like the choices. You have one condition, other condition, mm-hmm. and they alternate between the conditions. You can do the same thing for this thing. There's 4 different scenarios. There's one scenario: you believe in God, he exists. You believe in God, he does not exist. You do not believe in God, he exists, and you do not believe in God, and he does not exist. So if you believe in God and he exists, according to a lot of religions, you have infinite happiness. If you believe in God and he does not exist, or a different God exists, then according to most religions, it's either nothingness, infinite hell, infinite pain, and then actually that's really it. It's nothingness or infinite pain, kind of. That's really how it goes. If you believe in God and he does not exist, or sorry, I already said that. If you do not believe in God and he does exist, it's the same thing as the previous one. Either you have nothingness. I know Christianity treats like non-believers kind of as just you go to limbo or you still go to heaven, depending on what form of Christianity you're following. And then the last one, you do not believe in God and God does not exist, or a different God exists, where it's the same sort of thing. Either nothing happens or you can go to infinite hell. So there's one option where you have infinite greatness, and then 3 other options where it's nothing or there's infinite good. It seems obvious what the choice is, right? But the issue is, well, what about all these potential possibilities of infinite badness, right? And so this is where it gets kind of complicated into Pascal's bullshit. So I'm gonna put another like sort of thing here. Let's say you entered a casino or something, right? Let's say you entered a casino. And there were 2 games that you could play, right?
I'm there.
2 games you can play. One, you have a bag of, let's say, 2,000 tiles, right?
Oh, epic.
And another, you have a coin flip.
Okay.
In the bag of 2,000 tiles, so these are 2 separate games. In the bag of 2,000 tiles, it's 1,999 blue tiles,
Okay.
and there's 1 red tile.
Okay.
If you pick out the red tile, then you get infinite money. It's pretty sick, right? Infinite money. In the other game, there's a coin flip. If you call the correct flip, you get infinite money. Which one do you play? Like, which is the one that you would play? That would be fun. Or maybe not fun. Which one would you play for happiness? That would for the best chance of winning the most amount of money. The coin flip, obviously. And so this brings in the idea that probability really does matter. Now, there's a lot of arguments that you can make here, and Pascal, he does make this argument, and there's maybe some flaws to it, but the argument is he wants you to believe in the Christian God when he's like making this wager. He wants you to wager on the Christian God.
The Christian God.
He makes the claim that the Christian God is far more likely than any God, number one, you can imagine. So the wine-drinking God I mentioned is just one that I basically made up, right? I fucking gerrymandered for that guy. Mm-hmm. He probably does not exist because he has no followers and there's no evidence for him existing. Mm-hmm. So he's like one of the tiles in the bag. You could search for him and maybe you'll be right, but you probably will not. Alternatively, there are also other gods that do have followers. But he wagers that the Christian God is the most likely. Why he does this? It's probably bias, to be entirely honest. But this brings into a good response to the idea that while you're assuming that the Christian God is there, even if you are assuming, it's wagering on this is better. For basically every religion, every popular religion, the price for not believing and for believing in the wrong God is the same. So if you don't believe, so if you take the antithesis to this, if you don't believe, then you get the same belief as if you accidentally pick wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Or sorry, you get the same reward as if you pick wrong. Mm-hmm. So why not just believe? Why not pick? Anyway? Why not at least gamble, make a pick? Because at least then you have the chance to get infinity, right? Mm-hmm. Why not gamble? So what's your thought? Why not? Why don't you pick a god that you believe in? I actually, aren't you pretty spiritualistic? Spiritual?
I mean, if you, I am. But
I don't know, yeah.
If you pick a god that you don't like care for solely to play the stats game,
Yeah.
there is something to be said about him wanting you to believe in the Christian God.
Yeah.
Simply going, okay, God exists, is not enough.
Yeah. Okay. That's the other thing.
Because the Abrahamic texts give you rules to worship.
Yeah.
And give you set things. And since it's all knowing, he would know.
But why not just do the things? Why not do all of the things that the Bible says? Because you're wagering on infinite happiness.
Because I have life now.
Yeah.
And I want my guaranteed life now to be a certain way.
Yeah. But
Why risk what I have now? It's like, okay, cool. The payout is also
why would you risk what you have now? Because what you have now is nothing in comparison to infinity.
Cool. Your payout is huge.
Yeah.
However,
Like it's huge. It's impossibly huge.
yeah, like I mean, sure your payout's possibly huge, but also you are still one in an uncountable amount of odds of picking the correct religion, even if it's the most likely religion.
Yeah.
That does not mean it's the correct religion. It could be the Mormons. You don't know, right?
I hope it's not.
I
the
sure
Mormons.
shit hope not.
There's a South Park bit. I'm pretty sure where it is the Mormons.
Wait, there's a South Park bit where it is the Mormons.
Yeah,
but
it'd be fucked up.
it could be the Mormons. And you're shafted. You're fucked.
Yeah, because I've
And
drank
now,
so much soda, guys.
Not only are you shafted and you're fucked.
Actually, I think they like soda.
Not only are you shafted or fucked after the fact, during the fact, you wasted countless amounts of hours doing pointless shit with the limited time that you had.
Yeah.
So even though your payout is infinite, you are still paying potentially an infinite cost anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're burning all of your guaranteed time, or at least large swaths of your guaranteed time, on a religion that may or may not be right, in which case then you've lost more than your potential gain.
No.
Assuming you're wrong.
Technically, no, because negative infinity, if you multiply it by if negative infinity, if you quantify it in the amount of good points you have. One good point is like sex or something, and so negative infinity.
No, bad point. Sex
And
is
like
a bad
let's
point.
say you were a Mormon, and then you have like
sex is a bad point.
no, you have negative 10 good
They got
points.
the bed jumping on the bed. Good point.
You have
That's 10 good points.
You have
Jumping on the
negative
bed.
10 good points for like having sex. That multiplied by negative infinity is still infinitely bad. Like that's still going to be infinitely bad,
Yeah.
right?
But the only difference
But-
is that you've wasted conscious, real, tangible time.
But if you have 10 sex points because you weren't Mormon and you just had sex, right? If you have 10 sex points, you multiply that by negative infinity, it's still the same. So your value is still the same, whether or not what you do in your life currently, according to Pascal's wager, is meaningless. Because no matter what you do, it will either be multiplied by 0, or it will be multiplied by negative infinity, or it will be multiplied by infinity. All basically give you the same amount.
Okay, then why?
Except if you believe in the correct God, and then you get positive infinity. So you should believe in the correct
Okay,
God.
but believing in the correct God isn't enough. We've just established that you have to do other things to get into heaven, even if you believe in the correct God.
But-
so your actions in life are very clearly meaningful. Because
yeah.
even if I pick the correct God, and then I go burn down a fucking church, I'm not getting into heaven. Especially if I don't repent. I'm not repenting.
depending.
I don't take it back.
But this argument...
But I do believe in the God. I know I'm going to be punished. I wholeheartedly believe that I will be punished.
Yeah.
My actions on earth have
Did you believe that Jesus will die for your sins? Or did die
I
for your
believe
sins?
that he did, but not my sins. And also, I believe...
Go ahead.
Thank God it's not Bluetooth.
It's not.
I believe he died for everybody but my sins.
Okay, that's... Okay, but then you're not believing... Okay.
Nope.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
I'm
you're
believing.
right,
I'm
you're right.
believing that Christ died on the cross,
Yes.
and that his followers shall be saved. I am his follower. There are cardinal sins that cannot save me.
Yeah.
At least that there are certain things that will not save me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's fair.
Doing
So-
those,
Yeah, like killing
my
killing
actions,
someone else.
my actions on earth have just now affected my afterlife. Because if the Christian God is real, and I'm goody two shoes the whole way through, I get to heaven. But if I'm evil church burning man, I go to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I do none of these things, I go to purgatory.
Yeah.
Therefore, my options in life do matter, because purgatory gives you either stay in purgatory or you get to heaven. You don't go from purgatory to hell. It just doesn't work that way.
I understand.
Right? And if you're in heaven, you stay in heaven. And if you're in hell, you never leave. There is no working your way back up. Right?
Yep.
My actions do very clearly matter, because in 2 out of the 3 cases, I am stuck there for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1 of the 2 cases, I'm either stuck there for eternity or I can leave.
Eventually.
Depends on if you do the work in purgatory.
Yeah, that's
But,
fair. That's fair. So okay, what I'm trying to get at though is Pascal's wager is it's like atomic habits, right? It's trying to convince you based off of an argument that you should do this thing, and then from there you do other things as well, right? You're like Pascal is trying to get you to at least start with a belief in God, and then from there, if you have true faith, you will start doing the things that the religion asks of you. If he was Buddhist and he wanted you to be Buddhist, then you would, and his argument was persuasive, then you would become Buddhist, and then you would start doing all the things a good Buddhist needs to do to get into nirvana, right? You would do all of those things. Same thing with Christianity, same thing with all of that. This is meant to be a persuasive argument that convinces you that this is the right play, and then that belief transfers into action, right? So it's not necessarily, your actions do matter, but they don't matter in the end result, right?
But I just talked about how they matter in the end result.
They don't matter in the end result? Okay.
Not universally, but in this case, they matter in the end result.
Not universally, yes, but your actions and fine.
Well,
How
actually,
about
pretty
this?
much in every
Okay,
religion,
yeah.
they do universally
Yeah,
affect
okay,
the end result,
fine.
because you can do the opposite of what you're told to do,
Yeah.
still believe in the God, and then go to hell.
Sorry, what I mean is they don't, it does change the end result, but it does not change, like your feelings does not change the end result. So how happy you were in your life does not change how happy you will be when you are in eternal nothingness or eternal torment. That will change nothing. Like, how happy you are is nothing in the face of eternal suffering in hell forever. And it is nothing in terms of eternal nothingness in limbo forever, right? It's not comparable at all. And also your actions, how fucking bad your life sucks, like how kind of annoying it is also nothing in comparison to the infinite good that you get if you do go into heaven. Your feelings, so whatever your actions result in, and how happy you are or how fulfilled you feel, is nothing in comparison to the result that you get when you do go into the afterlife. Even if it's nothing, right? Since death is nothing to you, then if your life sucks right now and then you die, that means nothing.
Although it's not, but it's like it is not heaven or nothing is not the coin flip. Okay, heaven or nothing is the bag of tiles. That is heaven or nothing, because
but that's an entirely different thing. The bag of tiles was when you're choosing a god.
I know
this is a different thing.
But this is the same thing. Heaven is the bag of tiles. It is not the coin flip, because if you are wrong, certainly you go to hell.
Yeah.
There are more options. There's more chances of going to hell than there is of going to heaven.
Yeah.
Therefore, enjoy now because it's guaranteed.
But the argument is that your enjoyment of now means nothing in the grand scheme of things.
It doesn't. But my enjoyment now means a lot when eventually I will be met with nothing but eternal suffering, because I have the one in uncountably low chance of hitting the correct thing to get to heaven. Yeah. Therefore, the only enjoyment I will ever have is now. So maximizing the enjoyment of right now is better than betting the absurdist odds of one infinity up against countless others. Okay?
Yeah, well, but at the same time, though, if you enjoy what you have now, and then you get there and there's nothing, you have an eternity of nothing. Everything that you
if I get there and there's nothing and there's no hell and there's no heaven, my consciousness ceases to exist.
Yeah.
I do not have to live with the consequences of my actions.
Yes, but that means your experience now is nothing. It was nothing. You got all of that joy for nothing. It was nothing.
Whoa, that's not true. I didn't get all of the joy for nothing. Sure, my non-existent consciousness a billion years down the line cannot appreciate the joy that I have now.
Yeah.
But it will not matter, because there will be no subject to harm.
But it potentially you have.
There is a greater potential for me to be wrong and suffer for eternity, in which case I can reflect on I didn't waste my life and still burn
But you
in
won't
hell.
reflect on it. No, you won't, because you will be in infinite suffering. All you will think about is the suffering that you are enduring, because the suffering is infinite. Your experience on Earth
Well,
is a speck
I will remember playing
in
Magic the Gathering.
infinity.
I'll
remember fucking stopping you with the Fates deck.
My hell is I'm just up against a mono blue control player for like eternity, and every card I play, he always
Counterspell.
yeah. But my
We're
deck,
playing Commander.
but
How
my-
do you have two counters?
but my deck never runs out.
You fucking call over the
Judge,
the judge, and then he's
Judge.
like, no, he's allowed to have two counters. Sorry.
Fuck. And then he like taps a card of mine for no reason. I'm just stuck in like really annoying Magic game hell.
Either way, however you think about it, the idea here is that no matter what, you should. It is the best choice to pick a god and to then believe in the god, because no matter what,
Then why don't you?
infinity's better than everything. Well, that's a really good choice, because or that's a really good question. To be entirely honest, this is a very persuasive argument. I don't really know why I would not, to be entirely honest. But
The lady from Project Hail Mary said it beats the alternative. That's generally how I feel. But
it's potential. I mean, like infinite suffering is infinite suffering. That would really suck. That would really suck. Nothingness would also really suck, because then my entire life was nothing, right? Infinite happiness would be good. It would be good to follow a religion. I think that would be a good idea. But honestly, I think the thing that gets caught on me is part of the issue, and you did mention this a little bit earlier, is if I do follow Pascal's wager, if Pascal's right, and I am just like, okay, I'll pick the one that has the best payout, and has the best chances of being real, right? I'm gonna pick that one, and then I'm going to choose to believe it. Yeah, potentially there, I do like start doing good things, right? I mean, I feel like I already do good
No,
things.
you're
But
going to hell.
let's say I did play the dragon deck, so maybe
You're going to
maybe I'll
hell.
do good things.
Fate's just sending you to hell.
But then I go to church and I pray and I do good things and all that stuff. But then calls the question of if Pascal is right, if you're persuaded, can you really just believe it to be true based off of Pascal saying, yeah, you should? Like, and I'm convinced, oh, well, yeah, I guess I should. Can my own inclination, my own self-interest truly mean that I believe this thing? For example, if I tell you that a chicken crossed this road, you did not see the chicken cross the road, and I say, I'm going to give you $1,000 if you believe that.
Well, actually, the first thing I would ask is why did he do it?
And
But
you'd have to ask him. And I'll give you $1,000 if you believe that chicken crossed the road.
yeah, I believe it.
How, though? How can you truly believe that? Can you imagine a world where you actually believe that, where you convince yourself, where you absolutely believe that, yes, that chicken did cross the road?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
that gets into, like,
the
metaphysics.
The reason I truly believe it is because it's inconsequential. I don't really give a fuck. Cool. If I never received the $1,000, cool, I go about my day like I was going to anyway. And if I received this $1,000, hell yeah, I got $1,000. So I would like wholeheartedly believe, yeah, the chicken crossed the road, because it has zero consequence on my life besides the potential for a small benefit.
But
so
the metaphysics here is, or the problem here is in the aspect of belief. Can belief come like externally? Can belief come from like someone else paying you to believe something, right? Is that where belief comes in? 1984 talks a little bit about this. Can you can you engineer belief in someone who does not want to believe or who does not believe? Can you do that?
What you can do, right, is I'm assuming Pascal talks about the Christian God. So,
Yep.
if I go to Pascal and I believe in God for solely transactional means,
Selfish reasons.
solely
basically.
selfish and transactional means. And I do believe that he did these things, right? And that Jesus died on the cross, all the things that you need to get into heaven, like the bare minimum, like points you need to hit. The bare minimum points you need to hit, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Transactional faith is seen as sin
Yeah.
by the Bible. It is seen as not allowed,
Yeah.
right? Therefore, since I have transactional faith, the only person who decides whether or not my belief is relevant is God anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If I live my life unknowing of any God, and not actively, like, unthinking of any God, if you don't know about the existence of a God, you still get into heaven.
Yeah.
if you were never taught Christianity, and if
you're a fucking caveman,
if you were never taught
and
Christianity,
somehow are there,
you get into heaven because you are a lamb and you have been shepherded. You do not need someone. However, if you're told and you are given the scripture and you go against it, then you go to hell. So Pascal damns people to hell by giving them this ultimatum.
Okay, well,
because because there will be one person who hears this and is now, assuming he's correct, he has now damned people to hell, or at least damned people potentially to hell, making him possibly a bad Christian.
Not according to his religion. I do want to make a clarification. I use Christianity just as a general term. He technically was a Jansenist, which, fuck if I know the specifics of that.
Fucking Gemoniist, I don't know.
But it is
Jermaine
in that
Cole, yes.
you do have to get into heaven, you do have to have full belief in the God. It can't just be like the people that are unbelievers do not get into heaven. They have nothingness, right? So he's not damning people to hell by making them believe this or whatever.
But nothingness isn't bad, though. That's what I'm like struggling. Nothingness is only bad.
I mean,
if my life is miserable and pointless, and I suffer every day I wake up, and there's not a second of my life that is good.
Yeah.
Nothingness is better for me than continuing to live, and it's better for me than hell. Nothingness beats two options, continuing to live and going to hell. The only option it loses to is going to heaven.
Yeah, which is infinitely good. But no matter how bad your life is, nothingness.
But nothingness is not necessarily punishment.
It's always the same.
Nothingness.
It's not punishment.
But if there is nothingness, I cease to exist. There is no subject. There is no punishment dealt to me. I do not experience the nothingness because there is nothing.
Yeah.
This is the Epicurus argument for that. That there is no subject to cause suffering to.
Yeah, but you know what's better than nothingness? Infinity, positive infinity.
Am I myself when I have union with God? Probably not.
Yeah,
How can one persist in an infinitely powerful, infinite being with infinite knowledge? You are fundamentally different. If I am granted any boon that comes from a deity, I am now a fundamentally different creature than I was prior.
Ask Socrates, because he had some opinions that you did not change. That when you experienced infinity, you did not change. He wholeheartedly believed
I think he's wrong.
that you still stayed at least somewhat the same.
I think he's wrong, and Diotima is a bitch, so I don't care.
And honestly, maybe he is. I think that that's
also Diotima is not real. So.
I think that's a fairly strong argument.
She might have been. But.
That is like you do maybe somewhat change, and then you're not the same person who's experiencing the infinite happiness, right? I don't really know how to answer that because then at every point, because like me with infinite suffering is also probably a different person, to be entirely honest.
You are a different person, but I don't care about if the next person down the line suffers infinitely. I care about myself, especially if you're taking the Pascal argument of it being an entirely selfish reason to believe in God. Yeah. If I become a fundamental.
He did have a response to that.
I become a fundamentally different being when I transition. For the sole fact that I once was a boy and now I'm a girl. But no, for the sole fact that I was once alive.
You're soft jumping it a lot. At the end of the podcast, are you going to come out?
Yeah.
I would accept you. I'd be very happy if you.
You'd hate me and call me a chaser or something.
No, I think that being yourself is awesome.
I don't care. The transition from life till death has a very, very clear change in being because I no longer have a physical body. A lot of my personal identity is tied with my physical existence, and it's kind of inseparable from my physical existence. I don't think it is wholly inseparable from your physical existence, but I think that
it's the mind-body argument, baby.
For the vast majority of
fucking Descartes thought it was fully separable.
The vast majority of cases stands to reason that I am who I am because of this body. My limitations change my mind, and my mind is my consciousness. So the flesh prison I am in, the vessel I am in, changes me as it changes itself. If I removed both my hands tomorrow, I would have a much different view of the world around me because I could no longer use the doorknob. So, I could no longer grasp the doorknob. You know, it'd be harder for me to open my phone.
It'd be harder. Well, you get two hooks.
It'd be harder for me to open my phone, right?
You couldn't use the doorknob.
These things, these changes to my body fundamentally change my mind. So now removing my body from my mind fundamentally changes my consciousness because they are one and the same.
Yeah.
Now that my consciousness is fundamentally different, I don't think I'm the same person. I am too fundamentally changed to be comparable to the previous person.
Yeah.
If I removed all of your previous memories, right? And I just brought you here, right now, and you had nothing else besides the bare minimum context necessary so that you are filming a podcast with me, not even who I am. But
Do I know that I'm Parkade Pal 1?
yeah,
Okay. Thank God.
you are now a fundamentally different being, right?
Okay,
Your body's the same,
Yeah.
but your consciousness is altered beyond any sort of recognizability. You have no family, you have no friends.
Well, then question.
You have no prior opinions. You have
Yeah.
no prior relations.
Yeah.
You are now functionally just like the set piece that you are.
I ask you, does that happen just naturally through time? Like, if I just age 10 years, is 10-year-old me and me currently fundamentally different?
Yes.
So then...
But you're the same person because you have a chain of continuity. You can follow each moment to the last and know the things that changed you. However, when I die, the transition from death to afterlife is unknowable to the conscious person. I have zero clue, and there is a very strict, clean break in the continuity because my body ceases to exist. The thing that's been with me from day one till day end of life has been with me the whole time. There is a very key part of the chain that is now severed. It is gone. Because I will be incorporeal in the afterlife, presumably.
Maybe. We'll see.
If you have a corporeal form, it is probably a different corporeal form, because I don't want to be 90 on my deathbed in heaven.
I mean, you
and
could.
if it is truly infinitely good and it is my heaven, I would not be 90 in my deathbed, because that is suffering.
But it wouldn't be, because, once again, infinitely good isn't necessarily you walking around doing fun things. It can be things that are abstract in concept, similar to Socrates
I know it's
chasing wisdom. That could be heaven, and to Socrates, that is infinitely good, right? Being able to chase wisdom eternally
Either way,
is also infinitely
it would stand to reason that you need a not dead body to do that, which means it is already not the same body that you once had, because the body that you once had is dead.
Yeah.
Provably. It's in the dirt. Someone can go find it. It is provably dead on Earth.
Yep.
So now,
Although what happens if there's a perfect copy that you get teleported into?
if you have a marionette copy, that copy's existence kills you. Because for you to exist in heaven there, it killed you on Earth. Functionally, that is what happened.
Potentially, yeah.
Because God,
This is getting a little metaphysical into consciousness and who is what.
If there is a heaven,
Sure.
that means God decides when you die.
Yeah.
If God decide, if you're a Christian, God decides when you die.
Yes.
If you believe in what Pascal believed in, God decides when you die.
Yeah.
Therefore, when you die, there must be a perfect, readily waiting marionette waiting for you. That you can just and you come back.
I mean, why not? He can do anything.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
So now, that body, the existence of that body, is your death. It is not the same body, because the body back on Earth still exists. It doesn't matter if it's identical. You know it's not the same body, because you know that back on Earth you died. For now you find yourself in heaven. Okay? Or for now you find yourself in hell. So him puppeting the existence of a new body kills you fairly directly. Because you cannot go to heaven until he's done that. And until he does that, you cannot die, because there's nowhere for you to go.
But if your mind is separate from your body, your mind still exists. You still exist. Your body is dead and you have a new body, but your mind still exists.
I have a body that's not mine. It did not grow with me. It did not mature with me.
Yet it is still identical to yourself, because God can do anything.
It's identical, but brand new. It did not experience the changes. I was not in this body with the consciousness of a 10-year-old with the body of a 10-year-old. I am in this body with the consciousness of me now, with me now. And there was never a time that this body was 10 while I was.
Why not? God can do anything.
But
why can't it be?
Because there's a very clear time continuity error. How would he have done that? How would I exist? How would my singular consciousness, which is provable by God, because everybody is created by him.
I think therefore I am.
Right? So my singular consciousness exists in two places and in two times at once, existing two simultaneous worlds. The consciousness doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Then therefore I was never 10 and conscious as a 10-year-old in that body.
If what is important to you, though, is that your body went through the exact same things that you went through, so it is fundamentally an exact replica. You were not in that body, but God is perfect and can do anything, deterministic, knows what is going to happen and how it happens. Why can he not make an exact replica so that it is non-distinguishable from your perspective ever? For all you know, you fucking had a heart attack and you woke back up, could be the same body. You were teleported. And you don't know what's down there. You don't know what's back on Earth. So it could be your body. For all you know, this is your body. This is you.
Everyone who's ever died has always had their body dead to look at. Every single person, Christian or otherwise, who has died, the Pope included, has had his corpse on display and you could go look at him.
Except that rule does not matter because God can do anything.
Well, therefore, it's not my same body. It
can be.
But it won't be.
But it could be. God can do anything.
Am I as holy as the Pope? Not a chance.
Lazarus was brought back. Lazarus was. And he was in the same body as when he died in. Jesus brought Lazarus back from hell.
It's a little different because Jesus, like, warlock pulled that guy through the fucking hells.
Yeah. I don't know why he's considered a sinner.
And then Jesus just, like, slapped the shit out of John and sent him to hell for 5 minutes and said, yo, what'd you see? And John's like, fuck.
Do you think he got
and
eternal
Jesus like,
torment?
oh, okay,
or
cool.
5-second torment? Who knows?
Well, okay, no, he sent him there for 5 seconds, but it's eternity when he's there. So Jesus had to count 5 seconds, and John experienced forever. So Jesus was like, 1, 2, maybe pull him out early.
So, okay.
John's like,
I think my biggest problem with this is that it doesn't feel right that you can just convince yourself to believe something based off of a thing. But there is an objection to this. There's a very nice objection, a clear objection, that I think does work to sort of solve the problems of this. In that, number one, there is a difference between belief and faith, right? Mm-hmm. Belief is like something that you are convinced is a fact, essentially, right? And it's not potentially that, like, belief happens when you are absolutely convinced is a fact for whatever reason. Which is why I don't think if someone told you that the chicken crossed the road, that you could truly believe
I would.
because you don't know if it's a fact or not.
I just don't know why, but he did that shit.
Faith, on the other hand, I think is absolutely compatible with untruthfulness, right? If something is not necessarily true, you can have faith that it could still be true. I don't absolutely know that my friends like me, yet it is a philosophy of mine that I should always have faith that my friends like me, because I would rather live in a world where I believe all of my friends like me and they do not like me, rather than live in a world where I think my friends don't like me, but they do actually like me. So faith is compatible with things that are untrue. Therefore, I do think that you can have faith that is imposed by some sort of benefit, like a cost benefit analysis. I think that you can have that. I think people have that all the time. Like when you're betting on the stock market, you absolutely can have faith that your stock will go up and you'll make more money, right? That's absolutely something that you can do. You're implied with it. And also, at the same time, I don't necessarily think that this is inherently selfish, that being convinced by this is inherently selfish, because, for example, there are certain things that you do out of self-interest, right? You brush your teeth out of self-interest. You don't do it because it's going to hurt other people.
If I'm being honest, I'm worried I have bad breath.
Okay, fine. You can replace it. You don't sleep because...
If I'm being entirely honest, some days I really don't want to brush my teeth, but I'm like, oh, my breath's going to smell, and I brush my teeth.
You don't sleep because... You get the point, though.
Yeah, I do get what you're talking about.
You brush it because it will benefit you, right? But we don't see that as bad. We don't see that as selfish, right? If you are believing in God, you're doing it for yourself, right? If you're being convinced by Pascal's wager, you are doing it for yourself. But I don't think it necessarily is a bad form because no one else is being hurt, right? You are doing something out of self-interest, and that can turn into really good things.
What if I want less people in heaven?
If you're a pious Christian, then...
What if I want heaven all to myself? He doesn't get it. Just me. What that?
I don't know how that works. But
Pascal,
you would have to
pull
be,
up, bro.
You would be like,
can we get him on the pod?
Pascal, I think we'd have to dig up a couple graves, but we could probably get it done. You would be pious. You would be doing good things. You would be following the golden rule. You'd be doing all the things that a pious Christian would do. Maybe some bad things, but overall, I think it would be a net positive. So why not believe in God? Frankly, Parkies, I don't know, honestly. Pascal's wager does seem quite convincing. I think that you provide some pretty strong arguments, though, of honestly, nothingness is probably fine.
Personal identity is my biggest argument here.
Yeah,
I don't believe it's reasonable. I don't think it is even plausible, really, for even infinite being, as strange as it will sound. I don't think an infinite being can truly maintain a personal identity after someone proceeds into the afterlife. And I know you'll draw the argument of
do anything.
he can do anything, but how does one even do that?
He can remake your memories.
But I've died.
But you don't remember that you died.
Then I'm different fundamentally because I remember dying.
But that not necessarily, you don't remember dying. He takes that memory away.
Then I'm still fundamentally different because Earthby was dying and would have remembered.
But you could, fine, you'd be the you 10 seconds before you died, but you would still be a version of you. And you still
10
do
seconds,
things.
10 seconds before I passed away, I blinked and now I'm here.
Yeah.
I've died.
You don't know that.
I've functionally died. I'm not on Earth. There's this dude with a really nice beard looking at me, and he's like, "Oh, here's what you've done, good and bad." I'm like, "What the fuck? Okay, I'm here, I guess." And
But
I'm dead.
He can take away all of that connection that makes that experience negative. And yes,
And
that
therefore-
may change you, but you still do things to make your future self happy. So why would you do those things and not follow God? Because that would, in theory, be a good play to make yourself happy.
Because I care about my personal identity now.
Oh, yes.
And I'd
Is
rather
that more
do-
important than infinite happiness?
I'd rather trade. Well, it's not more important than infinite happiness. The question is it more important than the possibility of infinite happiness? And that positioning, how you say that question, matters.
Yeah, but mathematics argues that no. If you were looking at this logically, or I shouldn't say logically because it's not formal. If you're looking at this mathematically, you multiply
You just reminded me. I have so many math courses that I have to do next year. Yeah, keep going.
an infinitesimally little number by infinity. You still get infinity. Like you multiply by infinity, you still do get infinity.
Yeah,
no
but
matter
then
how
there's-
low the number, unless it's negative infinity, and then you get into calculus, which nobody wants to do calculus.
They didn't even have that when
Actually,
Pascal was around.
in the podcast, they talked about Pascal's wager with a PhD philosopher. I'm pretty sure they wrote a paper on using limits to evaluate Pascal's fucking wager, and I thought that was a really cool concept. Using limits to evaluate a philosophical argument, I feel like that's very cool. But I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it is impossible to truly, even for a being that can do anything, I still think it's impossible because there is always the fact that before I was born,
Yeah,
there's
nothing.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
However, I was born by choice of this thing. That choosing it of my birth guarantees that eventually it will choose my death. Therefore, I cannot leave the material plane until it has chosen my death.
Yeah.
And if I ever end up anywhere else, I know that it has. And if he changes my memories entirely to where I do not remember early life or life on Earth at all, I am fundamentally changed. My personal identity is not
You
maintained.
can have like a non-deterministic God, but I don't want to bring up this argument because it isn't compatible with Pascal at all. Because
check my charge.
to be fair, there is an argument that does refute this decently well, where to solve it you need to diminish God's power. You need to make the infinite good like immeasurably high, but still not infinite. And Pascal refused to acknowledge that argument because God is infinite. So yeah, you're right. Even if
even
he wasn't
an infinitely
deter-
good God.
You're right. If you're in heaven, that does imply that you were there. But why can't he just take that reason out of your head? Like, why can't he take that?
Then I'm fundamentally different. And why would...
Are you fundamentally different,
Yes, because
though?
that is a core opinion that I held before arriving here, and now it has been ripped from me beyond, like without my will. So it is fundamentally different from me.
But also, you're using
I am changed.
the fundamentally different argument to... Like, God works
I am
outside of the world of logic, right? God works outside of what you can determine with your own mind. So you being fundamentally changed because of this logical thing here, God can do anything. God can break logic. God doesn't follow the rules of logic. God can make it so you being here doesn't mean anything illogical that you could possibly... He can break logic.
If my fundamentality is not the same as what God considers fundamental to an existence, okay, which is what that would be.
Yeah.
There is deeper levels of the fundamentals here that I don't have.
And he can change that at will.
And he can change that. I am still different. If
No.
not to me, to him, I am still different.
To him, but to him doesn't matter to you. To you, you still have
me.
infinite happiness.
But it still matters. Even if I am not the conscious mind to process that it has happened,
Does
I
it?
am still different. Yes, it does.
This connects very nicely back to the argument. I don't know if we have talked about this.
Experience machine.
The experience machine.
Yeah.
Does it
I
matter
think we have.
whether or not it's ultimately true? I don't think it does. If you're in the moment and
I then
you have
second
no
you.
idea.
Why would an all-kind being meddle with my thoughts? Why would he not just let me have these thoughts?
Great
What is he
question.
saving me from?
He works in mysterious ways.
Oh, that's always the argument, huh?
It sure is, because to be entirely honest, I don't know. God arguments are really. This is all philosophy was, by the way.
Yo,
back
God,
in
what
the
did the
day.
woodpeckers do on Noah's Ark? I don't know. Don't ask me that. Guys.
We have to decide a winner now. I have a booster pack that I want to open. How do
Okay.
we decide the winner for the booster pack? I'll let you come with rules.
Do we pick a card type, and if it shows up, somebody wins?
But the issue is, what if it doesn't show up?
We both lose.
I think. Okay, fine. We pick a card type, but then I think that we should have a backup mana bet, side bet, mana bet. Whoever has the closest
Over,
type
under.
of mana. Yeah. Well, no, not over under. I would say we pick up a total mana cost of both of the cards, and then whether or not it's whoever's closer wins. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna bring out the booster pack, and then so. First of all,
I'm picking
I'm
4
gonna go up to
mana.
the camera.
I'm picking 4 mana as my bet.
Combine with both of them, by the way.
Combined with
Yeah.
both of them?
Yeah.
I'm picking 7 mana as my bet, and then I'm going to pick a land. There's 2 cards in here. This is a sample pack you get in every pre-con. There shouldn't be anything too crazy.
For the record, just for fairness, I don't know if you can get lands here because it is
You
a
can.
sample collector's
You can
booster
get
pack.
lands. I got a land in mine.
Okay. Hi, Perkies. Hi. Okay.
My guess is actually no. My guess is 7 mana, and yeah, no, a land. We'll stick with it. I'm feeling it.
Okay.
Land 7 mana.
I think. What if there's both of them? What if like the thing I guess and the thing you guess is both in?
Then we
there?
play some mana.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Hi, Perkies. Should I open it or should I keep it sealed? I'm guessing creature,
Sealed.
and I'm guessing.
It's worthless sealed.
I don't know, 6 mana, or 4. I should say 5. I'll guess 5 mana. I think it's going to be higher than 4. Okay. Oh, I've never opened a pack before. This is
I
scary.
think it's gonna be 7 mana Parkeys. That's combined with both of them, so both of them added up to
Okay,
7 mana.
these are the
right?
back.
That's what you said.
Yeah, combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 mana combined.
So 4 is mine, or 4 was your guess, 5 is mine, combined.
No, my combined mana cost is 7. Like for both of these cards.
Oh, for both of them. Okay, well, I'll guess. Oh, 7 makes it harder, actually. Fuck. And you think one of them's going to be a land?
I think one of them's gonna be a
Yeah,
land.
Interesting. Okay, I think it's going to be. Fuck. 7 is hard. I think the combined is going to be. Because we're just betting on the combined. So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be 6. I think it's going to be lower.
Let's pull them.
Okay, so this is the back of the cards. Or, okay, how do I do this? To make sure that I reveal it. Okay.
Put it face down, and then pull them out, and now draw them. Come on, buddy.
I don't want to
Man, you
reveal
did
it.
not
to my-
open a lot of booster packs as a kid, huh?
I opened 0. This is my first booster pack.
That's
Alright, there's 3 cards in here.
One of them
is
is a nothing burger. You can get rid of it. You just pull off the bottom.
What does it look like? Okay, I'm actually going to do it this way because I feel like it's cool. Okay, first card.
Fuck.
Whoa, it's a creature! Okay, it has 3 mana.
Oh wait, hold on. That's so cool.
So I win, but that is really cool. What is he?
Warden of the Grove. He's a Hydra. Wait a minute.
Hydra. Is this Mossborn Hydra?
No, it's not. It's Warden of the Grove. It's a different Hydra. It's a worse Hydra. But it is so cool.
Fucking look at that card art, Perkies. Okay, and the second one, just for funsies. Whoa!
Hold on. My mana's closer, but there was no lands.
Yeah, they're
what
both
did you
creatures.
guess?
I guess creature. Yeah.
Who wins?
Me, because I guess creature. The side bet was the one that would have decided it. That's a really fucking. I'm putting this in my deck, I feel like. Or actually, it doesn't look that good. It has death bet.
Cool.
Okay, cool. See you later, Parkies. Bye bye.
I
Love you. I love you.